Just last week, we talked about how female fertility can be impacted by gut health. Today, we're talking about the male fertility and how that also can be impacted by gut health and the microbiome in the gut. Recent research shows that men with certain gut bacteria profiles have up to 50% higher sperm motility than those with dysbiosis or microbial imbalances. Hi, I'm naturopathic doctor and endocrinologist, Dr. Omatma Simmons, and today we're talking about the male factors related to fertility, especially around gut health and the gut microbiome. Let's get into it. This isn't theoretical. I've seen it firsthand with one of my patients, Michael, who has given me permission to share his story. After 3 years of trying to conceive with his wife, including multiple semen analysis showing poor motility and morphology, Michael was told that there wasn't much he could do beyond the basic supplements and lifestyle changes. But when we investigated his gut health, we discovered significant imbalances that were directly impacting his reproductive function. After implementing the 30-day gut restoration protocol that I'm about to share with you, his follow-up semen analysis showed a 127% increase in motile sperm count and 45% improvement in morphology. 3 months later, his wife conceived naturally. Today, I'm revealing the specific gut-sperm connection that most fertility specialists never discuss and the exact protocol that's helping men transform their reproductive health from the inside out. Before we dive in deeper, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. We're facing a male fertility crisis. Research published in Human Reproduction Update shows that sperm counts have declined over 50% in Western countries in the last 40 years, a trend that's continuing to accelerate. Despite male factors contributing to approximately 50% of infertility cases, the focus typically remains on female fertility, with men often receiving minimal testing and a few evidence-based interventions beyond basic lifestyle advice. When men do seek help, the approach usually centers around antioxidant supplements, avoiding hot tubs, and maybe wearing looser underwear. While these recommendations have merit, they often fail to address a fundamental system affecting reproductive function, the gut microbiome. Emerging research from institutions like Harvard and the Cleveland Clinic is revealing that trillions of bacteria in the digestive tract play a crucial role in male reproductive health, influencing everything from testosterone production to sperm development to the sperm DNA integrity. This information is revolutionary for couples struggling with male factor infertility because it opens up an entirely new avenue for intervention, one that's non-invasive, evidence-based, and addresses root causes rather than just symptoms. Michael's case is not unusual. Many men with suboptimal sperm parameters have underlying gut imbalances that, when addressed, can significantly improve their fertility. Let's explore the science behind this connection. Your gut microbiome, the ecosystem of bacteria living in your digestive tract, influences virtually every system in your body, including your reproductive system. These bacteria aren't just passive residents. They actively participate in hormone regulation, immune function, and controlling inflammation, all which are critical factors for sperm production. Let's break this down to the specific connections between gut health and sperm quality. First, there's the testosterone microbiome connection. Research published in the Journal of Science shows that certain gut bacteria metabolize and recycle testosterone, directly influencing how much of this crucial hormone is available for sperm production. A 2021 study found that men with higher levels of Prevotella and Bacteroides species had significantly higher testosterone levels compared to men with dysbiosis. Then there's the inflammation pathway. Your gut lining serves as a barrier between the bacteria in your digestive tract and your bloodstream. When this barrier becomes compromised, a condition called increased permeability or leaky gut inflammatory compounds can enter circulation, travel throughout the body, including the testes. A groundbreaking study published in American Journal of Reproductive Immunology found that men with higher systemic inflammation had significantly higher rates of sperm DNA fragmentation, a key marker of sperm quality that impacts fertilization and embryo development, as well as a healthy pregnancy. The oxidative stress connection is equally important. Certain gut bacteria produce antioxidant compounds that help neutralize free radicals throughout the body. When these beneficial bacteria are depleted, oxidative stress increases, and sperm are particularly vulnerable to oxidative damage due to their high content of polyunsaturated fatty acids. Research from the Cleveland Clinic shows that men with higher levels of oxidative stress markers have significantly lower sperm counts, motility, and more normal morphology compared to men with lower oxidative stress. Finally, there's the blood-testes barrier, a protective barrier similar to the blood-brain barrier that shields developing sperm from harmful substances. Emerging research suggests that gut inflammation can compromise this barrier, exposing developing sperm to toxins and inflammatory compounds that impair their development. In Michael's case, comprehensive stool testing revealed several key imbalances that were directly impacting his reproductive function. Let's look at what we discovered. When Michael came into my practice, his previous doctors had focused exclusively on his reproductive system. But our comprehensive approach included advanced microbiome testing to assess his gut health. The results were revealing. First, his microbiome diversity was significantly below optimal. Diversity is a key marker of gut health, and research shows that higher diversity correlates with better overall health outcomes, including reproductive function. Michael's score was in the 30th percentile, meaning 70% of the population had more diverse bacteria than he did. Second, he showed elevated inflammatory markers, particularly lipopolysaccharides and zonulin. Zonulin is especially important because it indicates intestinal permeability or leaky gut, which allows inflammatory compounds to enter the bloodstream and potentially affect reproductive tissues. Third, Michael had significantly deficient levels of butyrate-producing bacteria, particularly Faecalibacterium and Rosburgia. These bacteria produce butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that research shows is crucial for maintaining the intestinal barrier and regulating inflammation, both essential for optimal sperm production. Fourth, his tests revealed an imbalance in bacteria that metabolize environmental toxins. This is particularly important for men, as many environmental chemicals are endocrine disruptors that impair testosterone production and sperm development. Without the right bacteria to help eliminate these toxins, they can recirculate and cause ongoing damage. Finally, we found the presence of opportunistic bacteria that can interfere with nutrient absorption and trigger immune responses that affect reproductive function. After completing the 30-day gut restoration protocol that I'm about to share with you, Michael showed remarkable improvements. His microbiome diversity increased, inflammatory markers decreased, and butyrate-producing bacteria more than tripled. These microbiome improvements correlated directly with improvements in his semen analysis. Sperm concentration increased from 12 million to 28 million per milliliter. Motility improved from 32% to 58%, and normal morphology increased from 2% to 4%. We still had improvements to go, but this was a significant improvement in just 30 days. Most importantly, his DNA fragmentation index, a measure of the sperm DNA damage, decreased from 38 to 22%. Again, 22% is not optimal, but if he continues on the changes that we started, he certainly will continue moving the sperm in the right direction, moving from high damage category to lower. These weren't just the numbers on his lab reports. He noticed significant changes in his own symptoms. His energy increased, his sex drive increased, and his mood cleared, as well as some of the brain fog that he had reported experiencing earlier declined, and he no longer felt brain fog, but rather more focus and easier to think. Many men are unknowingly engaging in habits that damage their gut microbiome and, by extension, their fertility. Before I share the exact protocol that achieved these results, let's look at the surprising factors that harm the male microbiome. Many men are unknowingly engaging in habits that damage their gut microbiome and, by extension, their fertility. Some of these factors might surprise you because they're often marketed as health promoting. The first category of problematic factors is protein powder consumption and artificial sweeteners. While protein is essential for health, many commercial protein powders contain artificial sweeteners, gums, and fillers that can disrupt the gut microbiome. Research published in Nature shows that artificial sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame can alter glucose metabolism and disrupt gut bacteria, leading to dysbiosis and inflammation. Not to mention that recent research has found that over 85% of the protein powders available over the counter in your local grocery store or Costco are actually laden with heavy metals, which also negatively affect sperm. Michael was consuming 2 protein shakes daily with artificial sweeteners, believing that they supported his fitness goals, not realizing that they were potentially harming his fertility. The second surprising factor was over-exercise without adequate recovery time. While regular physical activity benefits fertility, especially in men, excessive high-intensity exercise without the proper recovery can increase intestinal permeability. A study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that the intense exercise without sufficient recovery increased gut permeability by up to 60%, allowing inflammatory compounds to enter circulation. As a competitive cyclist, Michael was training intensely 6 to 7 days a week without adequate recovery periods, potentially contributing to his gut issues. Third, common medications can significantly disrupt the gut flora. NSAIDs like ibuprofen, antacids, and antibiotics can all alter the microbiome. Research in the journal Gut shows that even short courses of these medications can cause lasting changes to the gut bacteria composition. Michael regularly took ibuprofen for exercise-related soreness and completed 3 courses of antibiotics in the previous 2 years for sinus infections, all potentially impacting his microbiome. Finally, environmental toxins in everyday products can harm gut bacteria. Chemicals in conventional cleaning products, plastics, and personal care items can disrupt the microbiome. A study in Environmental Health Perspectives found that common household chemicals altered gut bacteria composition in many ways that promoted inflammation. Regarding alcohol, even moderate consumption can have specific impact on the male gut microbiome. Research shows that regular alcohol consumption reduces beneficial bifidobacteria and increases potentially harmful bacteria like Proteobacter. Even 2 drinks daily, well within what's considered moderate, can significantly alter the microbiome in ways that affects hormone metabolism. Michael typically had 1 to 2 beers a day, more commonly on the weekends, potentially contributing to his microbiome imbalances. By identifying these specific factors that were disrupting Michael's microbiome, we could create a targeted protocol to restore balance and support his fertility. Now, let's dive into the exact protocol that transformed Michael's gut health and sperm parameters. This protocol is very much the same as what a woman would follow to also improve and heal her gut and support egg quality. They're not different protocols. The joy and beauty of this is that your partner can join you on this journey, because what is going to help support your gut microbiome is also going to help support your partner's gut microbiome. So The 4 steps of this 4R protocol is remove, replace, re-inoculate, and repair. In week 1, we remove gut disruptors. We began by removing the foods and factors that were disrupting Michael's gut microbiome. Rather than a generic elimination diet, we used his test results to create a more personalized approach. For him, that meant getting rid of the protein powders containing the artificial sweeteners and additives. We also got rid of the alcohol and removed processed foods with emulsifiers and preservatives. We also identified a few household products that might have been affecting his gut health, particularly antibacterial cleaning products, which tend to be prevalent, which research has shown to disrupt gut bacteria. Michael and his wife switched to natural cleaning products and personal care items free of endocrine disrupting chemicals like phthalates and parabens, which can directly impact testosterone production. He also worked with his doctor to evaluate his medications and lowered the intake of ibuprofen from several times a week to several times a month. We found that alternative pain management strategies and honestly just lowering overall inflammation in his body was enough to not only support his gut health, but also lower his inflammation and lower his pain. In week 2, we replace digestive support. In the second week, while continuing the removal phase, we focus on optimizing digestive function so that we could ensure that Michael was properly breaking down foods and absorbing nutrients essential for sperm production. We implemented a comprehensive digestive support strategy, a broad-spectrum digestive enzyme to improve protein and fat digestion, apple cider vinegar to support stomach acid production, bile support supplements that contain dandelion and artichoke extract to improve fat digestion and hormone metabolism, as well as mindful eating practices to slow down and eat more thoroughly in a relaxed environment. We also improved meal spacing by encouraging him to stop eating late at night and enforce a 12-hour overnight fast that can help support gut healing and the migrating motor complex function, which helps to clear bacteria from the small intestine. Then we move to the re-inoculate phase where we're building beneficial bacteria. In week 3, we began strategically reintroducing beneficial bacteria to help his microbiome. Based on his test results, we selected probiotic strains of Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG, Lactobacillus reuteri, Bifidobacterium lactis, all shown to improve gut barrier function, reduce intestinal inflammation, and Saccharomyces boulardii, that is a beneficial yeast that crowds out opportunistic bacteria. We introduced probiotic foods that feed beneficial bacteria, starting with small amounts and gradually increasing amounts of partially green bananas that contain resistant starch, cooked and cooled starches like rolled oats, white rice, brown rice, and quinoa, all becoming resistant starch when they're cooled, and small amounts of Jerusalem artichokes and jicama. We also implemented a strategic fermented food protocol, water kefir as a dairy-free alternative, small amounts of beet kvass, and small amounts of fermented vegetables like sauerkraut. In the final week, we focused on repairing Michael's intestinal lining to reduce systemic inflammation and create an optimal environment for hormone production and sperm development. The key nutrients here were L-glutamine, zinc carnosine, collagen peptides, and vitamin A. We emphasized anti-inflammatory foods and supplements such as omega-3 fatty acids from low-mercury fish and supplementation, turmeric with black pepper in food form for enhanced absorption, ginger both as tea and added to meals, and bone broths and vegetable broths with medicinal mushrooms to support gut healing. For reducing intestinal permeability, we always include marshmallow root tea, which is a really wonderful healing tea for the gut lining. Finally, we implemented stress management techniques specifically supporting gut healing, diaphragmatic breathing before meals to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, a guided visualization practice focusing on gut healing, gentle yoga poses to stimulate digestion, and vagus nerve stimulation exercises to improve the gut-brain communication. Throughout this protocol, we continuously monitored Michael's symptoms and made adjustments as needed. The key was personalization and flexibility. This was not a rigid program, but rather a responsive approach based on his body's feedback. As Michael progressed through the protocol, we tracked how his improving gut health was directly influencing his hormone balance and sperm parameters. Let's talk about what we observed. First, his testosterone levels. As Michael's beneficial bacteria increased, inflammatory markers decreased, and his total testosterone went from 440 to 628, a 43% improvement without any specific testosterone supplements. The science behind this is fascinating. Certain gut bacteria produce enzymes that affect how testosterone is metabolized and recycled in the body. Additionally, inflammation can increase the activity of aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone to estrogen. But by reducing inflammation, we convert less of that testosterone into estrogen, leaving more of it available for sperm production and, honestly, sex drive. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism demonstrates this connection, showing that men with specific gut bacteria profiles have significantly higher testosterone levels compared to men with dysbiosis. Next, let's examine the gut detoxification connection that we observed. As Michael's microbiome improved, his body became more efficient at eliminating environmental toxins that can harm sperm development. The liver detoxifies these compounds, but they're often reabsorbed in the intestines unless the right bacteria are present to facilitate their elimination. As Michael's beneficial bacteria increased, we saw improvements in markers related to toxin elimination, correlating with reducing sperm DNA fragmentation. A study in Environmental Health Perspectives shows this connection, demonstrating that men with higher levels of certain gut bacteria have lower levels of endocrine disrupting chemicals in their blood and hence better sperm parameters. The stress gut fertility cycle is another critical factor. Before the protocol, Michael's elevated intestinal permeability was triggering low-grade systemic inflammation, activating his stress response and increasing cortisol production. This chronic stress further damaged his gut lining, creating a vicious cycle. Research in psychoneuroendocrinology demonstrates that this bidirectional relationship between gut health and stress hormones is extremely important and showing how addressing gut health can normalize cortisol patterns. As Michael's gut health improved, his cortisol rhythm also normalized, supporting healthier testosterone production and sperm development. Michael's story illustrates the powerful connection between gut health and male fertility that conventional reproductive medicine often overlooks. While addressing gut health may not be the answer for everyone facing fertility challenges, the growing body of research suggests it should be considered, especially in cases of unexplained poor sperm parameters or when standard interventions haven't helped. What makes this approach particularly valuable is that it focuses on improving overall health, not just fertility. The same protocol that helped improve Michael's sperm parameters also resolved his digestive symptoms, improved his energy, enhanced his sex drive, and improved his immune function, benefits that far extend past reproduction. If you're struggling with fertility challenges, consider working with a healthcare provider who understands the gut fertility connection and can help you assess whether gut health might be the missing piece in your fertility puzzle. Regardless of whether you're male or female, these factors are influencing both parties, and both of you can work together in improving your gut health so that you can improve your fertility. If you need customized, personalized support, we're always here to support you. Please reach out and schedule a preliminary consultation with me or someone on my team to help support you on your fertility journey. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. The more we get likes and subscribes, the better content I can create for you guys. And as always, if you drop it in the comments and let me know what you want me to create my next video about, I will do that. Take care, everyone. Peace.